Hello, and welcome to the Dublin Arsenal podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Giles, as always. On this special midweek show, I'm joined by regular guests and Arsenal season ticket holders. First of all, a warm welcome back to our UK-based gooner, Carl Ozzy Osborne, and also to Eamonn Donnelly, who's just come back from the game last night, as well, to review our 3-0 home Champions League victory over informed League on side AS Monaco. So sit back and enjoy the show. As I said, it's a warm welcome back to our UK resident, Carl Ozzy Osborne. Great to have you back, pal. You keeping well?
Yeah, I'm keeping well, mate. Good to be on and good to be back with you boys. Yeah, looking forward to the show, mate. Yeah, looking forward to talking all things Arsenal.
Great to have you back. Feels like a real celebrity we have back again.
Don't be silly.
Just fresh out of the jungle from Anton Deck.
Yeah, I see it. I've been in the jungle.
And what a jungle it is when you're an Arsenal fan. I'm also joined by Eamonn Donnelly, fresh back from the Emirates as well last night. How are you, pal?
Evening, Jonathan. Evening, Carl. I was diagnosed as a kleptomaniac. I'm taking something for it. And I went to a psychic the other day, and he said, "What's your name?" I said, "Well, I thought you'd know it." We're all good. I'm in the dizzy heights of celebration from last night. I had a great day yesterday. It was fantastic, you know.
Yeah. Nothing beats the Champions League matches under the Emirates lights, that's for sure. And this, as always, this is where we kick off. Champions League match day 6 was last night, 3-0 against Monaco. Bukayo Saka with 2 goals and Kai Havertz. Saka probably unlucky not to get a hat-trick there. Havertz stuck his foot out at the right time. Just to start off, Miles Lewis-Skelly at the age of 18 had a fine Champions League 63 minutes he played, but didn't look out of place at all on the big stage. And another one of our Haaland products done himself the world of good, and you can see a really bright future and could all but signal at the end of Kieran Tierney, I think he says, oh no. But no, I was really impressed with Miles Skelly, you know, and I think everyone at the stadium, I'm sure, he got a great reception when he came off in 63 minutes, so you can see when he's 1 year old as well, there's a little bit extra there. I thought we kept Monaco's kind of shining lights of Ben Zaguer and Akalushi. They're really doing well from what I see them in the French league. You know, they're the shining lights of that Monaco side, and we really nullified them last night. So really well done to the lads there. It leaves us in 3rd position on 13 points. With games against Dynamo Zagreb at home and Girona away in January, you could possibly be looking at another 6 points there from them too, and all going well, we'll have sealed our spot in the top 8 there for automatic qualification to the last 16, which would be great. Also, there's another stat to throw out there. Bukayo Saka, that's 9 goals and 12 assists now this season, and only Mo Salah has more, so he's going from strength to strength, our own star boy. In terms of some of the action in the first half, I thought Gabriel Jesus, he's 2 1-on-1s with Monaco goalkeeper Majewski. In inform, Jesus probably would have buried him. Surprised he didn't probably lob him 1-on-1, but you know, I suppose that's the confidence he's in. But in fairness to the Monaco keeper, he saved well, and I thought Jesus was really fresh last night, you know, in the opening half hour or so. In terms of the first goal, Miles Skelly turned Akalush really well in the build up to it. He laid off to Jesus, and what a cross across the box for Bukayo Saka. And he took his chance really well at the back post. His 3rd Champions League goal as well this season. Odegaard and Martinelli had shots just wide of Majewski's left-hand post. I thought Monaco playing out from the back, they were quite cut out a lot from our high press and the constant pressure from the midfield. I thought Marino as well had a great game last night as well. He took out a lot of Monaco players were possibly played through to the likes of Martinelli and Saka. So he's really been a great signing for us so far. really a chance of note, I suppose, for Monaco. Came in the second half on the free kick from Kamara and Kerr, who played for West Ham United. He just had a wide of Reyes' left hand post. And Reyes saved well from ex-Liverpool player Minamino, but it was quite a weak shot. But he did come on to us, and Bolo had a shot as well. He turned Kivior quite easy, and it was just wide of Reyes' left-hand post. But I thought, again, Kivior, it's big boots to fill when your main centre back like Gabriel is out, but he's done okay. In his appearance, like he gives it his all. A lot of fans were slamming him again last night, but look, that's the way it is. With Arsenal fans, were never happy. I know Eamonn was wanting them out. In terms of Monaco's, our own second goal, certainly I thought it was great closing down from Havertz and Bukayo Saka on Salisu, who played for Southampton back in the day, and Kerr. Majewski just didn't want that back pass. Salisu should probably just have cleared it downfield, but great pressure again and a great finish from Bukayo Saka, who buried it past Majewski. And then the third goal, a quick free kick by Kivior down the wing for Trossard, who crossed, and Saka's shot was just converted in then by the foot of Kai Havertz. And really, I suppose, hand on heart, I don't know, you were both at the match yourself, lads. Monaco didn't really lay a glove on us. They were trying to play out from the back, and constant time after time, especially in the first half, they were just constantly closed down, made mistakes, and we were probably quite unlucky not to win it by more than 3. 4 or 5 probably wouldn't have been a shock scoreline. But I know you'd use lads best seat in the house. Nothing beats being there. I'll come to Ozzy. It's been a while since you've been on, pal. What was your take on last night's match?
Right, I'll start with looking at the team. I think when I looked at, I've got some background noise there, Johnny. I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear myself now.
Sorry, you're just out of the jungle, sorry.
I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, just looking at the squad, I think when the team was announced, I think it's quite a subdued atmosphere. I don't know if you felt that, Eamonn, as well. I thought it's quite subdued. I think there's a combination of things that happened that night. It was bloody freezing, and also the fact that the Piccadilly line was kicking off before the game. So I think a lot of people got there late. So I think that sort of added to the atmosphere. It always affects it. But when they're looking at that team news that was announced out there, like I think there was lots of raised eyebrows. I think when you look at the back four, there's only one first teamer in that. I think that's fair to say, with Saliba being the only one that would normally start in that back four. And then I think the inclusion of Jesus at the front, I think that raised a few eyebrows as well. I actually called that on the way to the game. I reckon he would start. But yeah, I think so there's a team selection, and I did feel the atmosphere could have been better, but it is what it is, right? And it's a cold night in North London. Although I think Monaco didn't look like they offered much, and I've watched highlights back and stuff like that. I don't think they looked like they offered much, and I felt that on the night actually. But actually, what I could see through is Monaco have got a lot of quality, and that team is a lot of quality. You only got to look at their results. They've beaten Barcelona, they've beat Bologna away. This wasn't an easy game for us, and could have easily gone wrong. And we're playing this with one first choice defender. Yeah. So there's a lot of could have gone wrong in this game. And actually they had a game plan, and when I watched them set up, I thought I put my show notes tactically intriguing, because I actually thought there's 2 moments in that game where I thought you could see what they was trying to do. They flooded that midfield. They had 5 in midfield for most of that first half, and they were trying to flood that midfield and stop Odegaard. And I think Odegaard had a bit of a slow start to the game. I think he made a few mistakes early on, but there weren't much space in there to operate in, and I felt that they was doing that. The second sort of tactical thing that I thought was quite intriguing, how they dealt with us on corners, and we didn't get a corner till the second half. But what I did notice is they were putting 3 players up front, so they was making sure that Arsenal players were being dragged out of the box in case they hit us on the side, and I thought that was quite interesting as well. So hopefully teams aren't cutting onto that. But I actually thought Monaco did have a lot of quality, and they were a solid team. But I think Arsenal showed quite, for me, one of Mikel's finest games I've seen at the Champions League. In the fact that we look at PSG game and that, but I thought the way he set us up in that game, we could have won this easily, right? I know it's 3-0, but it could have been 6 or 7. It's not on another day, and your strikers are scoring goals. That could have happened. But I thought it was quite an intriguing game, and I think we didn't panic, and that was key. And I think we was at 1-0 for a lot longer than we'd have liked to be, and I think the relief in the stadium when that second goal went in was felt. But ultimately we were. I thought tactically we were sound. I thought it was absolutely sound. So like, talking for the team, like we talk about Jacob Kiwior. I'll be honest with you. I think he's having an impressive run of games. I think there's not many centre halves in the Premier League or Champions League who can step in like he has. Big boots to fill, like you say, with Gabriel and play the way he has. Like, don't forget, this guy sits on the bench most of the time and he's happy to do that. So I think as a reserve centre half,
he's done okay.
We're very lucky. And I'll tell you what, the guy can pass and he can break lines, and and you know what, I thought he was solid. He's not got that X factor, probably that added X factor that Gabriel brings, but you're not going to get someone like that to sit on the bench for half a season. So I think he deserves it.
Cutting across you, pal. Do you hear much? The fans that you sit beside. Does Kiwior get much stick from Arsenal fans?
He did. Like, look, from where I sit, like a lot of people, there's a few people that sit around with me, and I don't know who they are if they watch this, who were very critical of him in the first couple of games. But actually, you can see they've warmed to him, and I think he's earned that right to get a bit of respect there, and I think absolutely is great. Then I sort of look at sort of Saliba. He sort of steps up to be that leader of the defence. Partey's nonsense right back. He can do a job there. He's no frills. He ain't going to shine, but he knows how to do a job there. And then we talk about Lewis Skelly, and I think the way that lad plays with no fear. I thought he was brilliant in that game. But that pass broke those lines. I'll tell you what, a lot of credit can go to Jesus, and we'll talk about Jesus in a minute, but a lot of credit can do for the runs that Jesus was making. We talk about the chances he missed, but actually the runs to get in those positions and that assist for that goal. We talk about Lewis Skelly, and he absolutely deserved praise because that was an amazing through ball. But actually, it still had a lot to do there. And I thought what Jesus did to Saka was also good as well. And I think we need to give him credit. I do feel fans are getting on Jesus' back. But we might as well talk about his 2 missed chances. I think they were good saves. I think you'd expect him to put one of them away. But at the same time, is also his movement and the way he was breaking those lines. Their defence were, we kept on cutting them open. But yeah. He should have got one of them for me. But I think his work rate was there.
And in form, Jesus, if he was banging into goals, would he have scored at least 1 out of 2?
Well, he says himself he's not about the goals, doesn't he? I know we expect that from him. I know the Jesus we had when he first joined us would have probably banged both of them away. But I saw positive signs from him last night. I think we need to get behind him a bit as well. He's clearly a confidence player. He's clearly someone who needs his arm around him. And I think I'm not giving up on him just yet. I know some fans are, but his work rate was there. I felt he appeared frustrated at times. I don't think he's got 90 minutes in him again because he hasn't been a big run of games. Sort of frustrated moves for Eamonn there. And I'll stop talking in a minute. But just the other few show notes I sort of got was Martinelli. I thought he looked a frustrated figure. I thought he looked frustrated. Very lucky not to be sent off. If I'm honest, I think in the Premier League he'd have been off.
Tackle,
Yeah, and I actually thought I actually said to the people around me, I thought Trossard's going to be coming at half time because I think in the Premier League he'd have got that second yellow and he'd have been off. But I think the referee.
Common sense prevailed, Ozzy, as well. Yeah. The referee does kind of worded him where it should be done like that in the Premier League games and not. The Premier League referees just want to be the centre of attention all the time, isn't it? Common sense prevailed there, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. He let the flow of the game. He would have put it a cagey fix in Arsenal. He put it Arsenal on the back to the wall anyway. But I thought he looked a frustrated figure again, and that's it. But the substitutes made a difference. I think ultimately to finish the game off when you bring Havertz, Timber, Trossard on. Bit of experience there. Havertz was fantastic when he came on. He was absolutely brilliant. But Mikel, and then before we move over to Eamonn, I thought like, Mikel showed that we could adapt, and a team came there with a game plan, and we also had a game plan. And because they'd done their homework, they'd looked at the way we played, they looked at where they could stop us, so we changed things about a bit.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought was great about yesterday. It wasn't the no frills, slick passing, what we normally do, but we got a result. And that's why I think the pundits are starting to say we might have a chance of this Champions League and stuff like that, because we can adapt. And I think that's what's key. The final thing two final things very quickly I'm going to say, not about the game, but I thought the Lewis Skelly interview with Saka afterwards, I don't know if anyone's seen it. You watch Saka be a man there. Like, I don't know about you, he's not the young kid anymore. And the way he dealt with that showed me what a captain and leader he is. And in that interview, I thought it was great. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Anyone who's watching this, go and watch that interview with Lewis Skelly and Saka. It's brilliant. He's so proud of the lad. But the way he dealt with that and that interview was brilliant. I thought Saka shone, and Lewis Skelly was just a young kid enjoying his moment. It was great to watch. And I actually had a Monaco fan sat behind me, or a couple of Monaco fans sat behind me. Somehow they'd got in the home end, right? And they obviously lived in London, but they're Monaco fans through and through. And as he said, we was talking about the history of the Monaco and Arsenal and Thierry Henry and Wenger, and the love relationship we've got with Monaco, really. And you know what he said to me when he walked out? He said, you know what? I didn't realise you was that good. And that says a lot. And because they've played a lot of good teams this season, and he walked out there and said, yeah, I haven't watched much Arsenal, but I didn't realise how good you were. You were brilliant. And I think we found it hilarious how many times we jumped up thinking we was going to score and we didn't. But it was it was a great performance. Should have been 6 or 7, but I'll shut up now. But hand over to Eamonn. But that's my analysis anyway of the day. But it was bloody cold as well. I'm gonna add that in one more time because I don't think I'm still warm through yet.
Yeah. First of all, Eamonn, you've been waiting a while there to come on. First of all, I think the first show should really go to Miles Lewis Skelly. How impressed were you with this young lad's performance last night, Eamonn?
He was good. No, he was good.
Yeah, he's quality.
No, hold on a second now.
Yeah, I have to give the lad credit where this is. Yeah.
He was good. But see, this is all now typical of the way we analyse and report things. He's the bright, shiny new thing. Therefore, we should go overboard. He was good. But I'll tell you what the most important thing about him was. It balanced the team up. I felt that Lewis Skelly should have started against Fulham.
Yeah, you said that on the show Monday.
This kid can play. This kid can play. And I think we had enough about us with the way we approached the game to take that gamble. And I thought Mikel got it wrong there. And you know I'm a great Mikel supporter, right? I was delighted to see him in the team, and he balanced the team up. And I know the way you say, Jonathan, looks like the end of Kieran Tierney. If you read Arteta's interview about Kieran Tierney, it's very, very instructive. He said, I'm not going to ask a guy to do things that he's not comfortable with. Kieran Tierney is
just
not
sorry, Eamonn, for cutting across. What way would you read into that, though? Would you think, is there still a place for him, or is that like to Kieran Tierney, this could be the end of the road if I'm not winning too much?
Arteta has said Kieran Tierney is a dream of a professional to be at the club. So there's no anti-Kieran Tierney. He's just not the right player for the system.
Yeah.
Right? He's a great lad, Kieran Tierney. He's an example. He's like Seamus Coleman. He's an example to every footballer.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm very, very proud that he played for the Arsenal. But Arteta is actually saying, well, why didn't I start Kieran Tierney? Because that's not what I needed at that time. Right? And I'm not going to ask a guy to do something that he's not comfortable with. He might get other opportunities to do other things, but I'm not going to. It's unfair. And I thought that was really, really instructive. Right? So Lewis Skelly comes into the team. He was good. He wasn't sensational. He was good.
Yeah.
But his contribution to the goal was sensational. Because of the way he got out of the tight space he was in. Could Kieran Tierney have done that? A, he wouldn't have been in that space in the first place.
Yeah.
And B, he wouldn't have been able to turn around the way Miles Lewis Kelly did it. So from that point of view, but I wouldn't be getting carried away. By the way, it's fantastic that a young 18-year-old kid, and you're right about that interview, Carl. That's very, very instructive about Saka. You might as well call him Bukayo Adams now at this stage. He is Arsenal through and through, and he is captain material. I'm not saying he should be captain because we have a great one, but he's a real leader, Bukayo Saka, you know? But just on the game itself, I think we kind of overanalyze things sometimes. We totally control that game. With the exception of the first 15 minutes of the second half. And what did Mickey do? He brought on subs that made the difference. He changed it around, as Carl said. I thought we were a lot more balanced, but the most interesting thing for me was the midfield trio of Marino, Royce, Odegaard. We haven't had the opportunity to do that. And my God, it looked tasty. And I know, Carl, you said that Monaco saw that coming and flooded it. So Kivior then decides he's going to go over it a few times. To great effect. It was Kivior's pass that put Jesus through. He just went over it. Kivior, to me, was outstanding last night. Absolutely outstanding, right? And, you know, it kind of gets... I don't know what it is about the Arsenal and their fans, our fans. Why do you always have to pick a scapegoat? I said this before. It goes back to John Samuels. But in recent memory, Granit Xhaka. Now it's Kivior. Everything is Kivior's fault. Kivior last night was outstanding, right?
Yeah.
Really outstanding. I thought Gabriel Jesus, when he didn't score, he couldn't have lobbed him, by the way, Jonathan. It was too close. Because I'm right behind that.
Yeah. Was it as close?
No,
yeah.
no, it was too close. I actually think he struck it well enough, but a striker with confidence probably would have placed it rather than struck it.
Yeah.
He struck it because you're thinking, I haven't had a goal in so long. If I put my boot through it, I can't be accused of not going for it.
Yeah.
I think a confident Jesus would have side-footed that past the goalkeeper. You know, but look, I had a great view of it. Sure, Martin Odegaard pulling wide from the penalty spot.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody's gone on about him. We missed a lot of chances, but we played a lot of good football in the first half. Gabriel Jesus was an integral part of that, and his ball across for the first goal was nothing short of sensational. Nothing short of sensational. I mean, I didn't see it coming, and I'm behind the goal, and I'm seeing him with the ball at his feet. I didn't, and normally I'd like to think I could see a bit again. I didn't see what he saw. It was a brilliant spot and a great pick out. Just a couple of other things. In the second half, we were under a bit of pressure. Mikel changed it. The subs made a big difference. I just think that I read some of the Dublin Arsenal thread last night, and I have to say this. We were lucky. Jesus Christ. What? Well, if the opposition had scored 4 goals, they would have won. I mean, what planet are we on? We've got people complaining, how bad is Jesus? When winning a game in the Champions League, we're third in the table of 34 teams. And that's what we get. And I'm done with it now, right? And I'm going to give you an honest assessment. I was talking to a couple of season ticket holders, the old Steves that listen to this podcast, right? Before the game in the King's Head. You know them, Ozzy. They stand up with a jukebox, right?
Yeah.
And one of the Steves, he's 62, seen it all, right? And he was having a go at Arteta about selecting whatever, you know? And I said, Steve, you're surely not part of the Arteta out brigade. And he said, Arteta out? He said, have you got rocks in your head? Of course I'm not part of the Arteta out brigade. But he set such a high bar for us that I feel I can criticise him within the context of that high bar. And that's fair enough to me. I thought he got it wrong against Fulham by not picking a left fullback, right?
Yeah.
And that's fair criticism. But this stuff about, we were lucky,
Do you think, Eamon, sorry for cutting across you, do you think it's unrealistic expectations some of our fans have? Is it too, do they expect just too much too quickly, or is it just like, just jump on them when we're,
I trust this team, and I trust the manager. I think we have the best squad in the Premier League. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to tug it out, right? Yeah. But we're still in the mix, right? And I absolutely, I'm not getting carried away with myself. We have a chance in this competition. We have a real chance. I haven't seen anything that's better than this.
Yeah.
Right? And, we've got what now, 13 points?
Yeah.
Another 3 seasons into the top 8, I reckon. Even though, if you look at the table, there's about 12 teams who
on 14 points, isn't there? Yeah, there's very little separating.
But in the lunacy that is the new fantastic format, I don't know who any of them are playing. It's like bingo. It's mad. But no, I just think that last night was a good night. I just want to pick up on one thing that Carl said about the atmosphere. That's because you sit with the posh people on the side of the ground, Carl. When you're behind the goal, where the real supporters always were, there's an atmosphere. We were in underneath the in block 25 in the clock end. I've become a real clock end boy, by the way. But I don't know how I ever stood that in our bank, but we were rocking before the game. The Ashburton Army drummer was suitably out of time. There was a lot of guys had come from work, and they were in the kind of broker's clothes with an Arsenal scarf, and they were pissed up. And the atmosphere was electric down behind the goal where we were.
Was it? Right.
Yeah.
How impressed, Eamon, particularly the second goal, the closing down from Havertz and Saka, to make that mistake from Salisu. Really, the hunger it's shown there, to get, not satisfied for a 1-0, which it looked like it was down to happen, but the hunger for the last 10 minutes that we wanted to add another couple of goals to us, yeah.
You were seriously going to ask me about hunger after last week?
I says I have to. I don't know what other way to phrase.
Jonathan, to be fair, I actually think we showed the same against Fulham. We just couldn't catch a break. And we pressed with the same intensity last night. The third goal, by the way, was an OG.
Was it an OG?
Yeah, it was an OG, yeah.
Oh, it looked like it came off
Havertz. They give it to Havertz, didn't they? They give it to Havertz.
No, they took it off him.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, we pressed like that at the weekend. We just didn't get what we deserved at the weekend. And we got our rewards. We, apart from standing there looking at the game, the first 15 minutes of the second half, we were not in control. But for the rest of the game, we were totally in control. We actually played better than the first half when we scored less than we did in the second half. I think the substitutions helped. It was good game management. It was a good night for the Arsenal. A proper performance, in my view. And my standout player, by the way, somebody who we haven't mentioned, Carl briefly mentioned him, was actually Thomas Partey. He was unbelievable last night. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, he's making a few crunching tackles as well on his side as well. Yeah, the physicality of our team as well. We're not afraid to put the foot in when needs be. Is another improvement I've seen under Arteta. We won't be bullied or pushed around. Yeah. Thomas Partey, he's having quite a season. He's being mentioned on every podcast review now. A fit Thomas Partey is a really good, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good shout actually. Yeah. Man of the match from yourself, Ozzy.
Right, I'm gonna go for Jackie Kidwell. I thought he's great.
Yeah,
and he deserves it.
I'd probably give it to. I thought Martin Odegaard was fantastic as well last night. He's just the way he controlled the game. But when you see, as Eamon says in herself, Ozzy, when you 3 different. When Was he doing that again last night?
Yeah, the longest arms in football. Yeah.
It's like those things they have at matches now with the blow up things with their hair now. Yeah, he's the longest arms in football. Yeah, he missed that sitter he missed though, and he just dragged the shot. I don't think he looked up. His head was down, wasn't he? He looked up at the last minute. And yes,
I think he thought he was offside.
Yeah.
From where I saw it, we all did. You know.
How did you find, actually, that's just briefly, the way Monaco were playing out from the back, you can see more when you're there. Was it, were they that bad trying to play out, or was it our press that made them keep making those mistakes?
I think we forced a lot of errors from them. Rather than them looking bad, because when, like you say, that's start of that second half. They can play. Like, they've got some good players. Like,
skillful. Yeah,
they've got some better players. I think we made them look a lot poorer than they are, and it shows when you look at the results in the Champions League. Right, again, only team to beat Barcelona. They're sitting second. They've beaten Brest, haven't they, as well?
Yeah.
Carl, for the first 15 minutes of the second half, collectively, they all played 10 meters higher up the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's when we were kind of thinking, like, it was the only time in my mind where I'm thinking, do you know what, we could have done with that second goal of the first half.
Yeah,
you jogged my memory, actually, Eamonn, because Arteta was going mental about that. Yeah. I remember him. He was very get up the pitch.
Yeah.
We were sitting too deep.
Yeah.
He was very animated about that. I remember seeing that last night.
Yeah, because if you occupy the line message, you win the game.
Just to add, I was talking to players of the match. I know Damien's not done these, but I thought Marino was great as well. I know Eamonn touched on that. He was he was a standout player for me as well. Like, him and Jacob for me.
He was actually picked out on the match of the day highlights they do now for the Champions League. I think it was Stephen Warnock was one of the pundits, and Mikel Merino was picked out as the standout. Yeah.
Chinese chicken.
I don't know if Eamonn's having turkey tonight or is it chicken. No, it was though. Like 13 points after 6 games. He can't. At this stage, normally a match day 6, they're dead rubber games. But there's actually last night, as Gary Breen says, there's something to play for. All 8 matches now, there's no.
How good? Ozzy, you wouldn't get this, but we get the games on Premier, and Gary Breen is the co-commentator. How beautiful is it to listen to a game when Gary Breen is co-commentating, because he's so obviously trying to be unbiased, and he's a total downer,
Because he keeps references Arsenal as we all the time.
Yeah.
And that doesn't get more than biased. Yeah.
You got to do better than that, He grew up in Islington,
I didn't know that. Did he, Gary Breen? Yeah.
And you made a very good point, right? You say there's a lot to play for in this. Like, looking at the current format, right? I'm just saying, if we draw a line in the sand now and the other 2 games, this is really important where we finish in this table. Like, I'm just having a look at it now. Like, if we finish 3rd, we could play 19 or 20 or 13 or 14. And when you look at that, that's Atalanta or Juventus or Club Brugge or Real Madrid. So
bonkers.
It is. So
and I love it.
I say that's literally as it stands now. If it stays like it is, that's who we're playing. And you know what I mean. There's 3 good teams there. Club Brugge, I'd fancy our chances, but
it's like as if they got Russ Abbott to design a competition and sing a song at the same time, and this is what landed. It's brilliant.
It is nuts, isn't it? It's absolutely nuts.
We want an atmosphere. We love it. Yeah.
I know,
like you talk to like the fans that you sit with, lads from both your seats. Are fans the same as yourselves? Do they love this layout of the Champions League now? Are they getting into it now?
I'll let Eamonn talk first, because my fans talk about Waitrose and stuff. That's what my fans do.
The atmosphere was fantastic last night. But what I get about Arsenal fans at the moment is that we almost see the Champions League as, well, that's not really important.
Yeah.
Yet, despite the fact we spent 7 years nearly cutting our own ears off to get into the Champions, remember the meltdown when we finished 5th?
Yeah.
Like, it's bonkers. But I can tell you, if we get through and we get through the last 16 into the last 8, then people will actually cop the hell on. Yeah. This is a competition we can go and win. Imagine if we won that. Imagine if we won it. You know?
Be great. Yes, it's like
lucky last night. Anyway, that's I agree with some of my minority group colleagues. We were lucky last night that Monaco didn't score 4 because we only scored 3.
The meltdowns that we have on our Dublin Arsenal, it really turned you off being an Arsenal fan.
You know what, Jonathan? But I was coming out of the game and I saw that. You know, I had a good mind not to have a point.
Now, which one was that?
I had a good mind to stay.
Yeah, that Camden nail. Jesus, like,
stop.
Isn't it? It's like heresy.
See that Camden Hell's Bells? It's worse in the winter.
One of my mates had a pint of it last night. He had to leave half of it. He said it was awful. He said he's had better out of a can.
Ozzy, it's shocking stuff, right? Nobody should drink it, but my God, it's jet plane stuff. I don't know. Maybe the stuff that's down in the stadium is kind of a little bit Ranieri with a few extra bits, you know.
I've always said that, even the best pint I've ever had at the Emirates was this Athletic non-alcoholic IPA. That was the best pint I've ever had at the Emirates because it came out of a can. It tasted great. I was drinking it, going, "Why? What? Yeah." That was the best pint I've had.
Anyway.
I don't know actually what they did serve before Camden Hell's Bells. Carling, was he? Yeah. That's.
But I've got to the stage now where Camden Hell's Bells, if I need a pickup,
there you go.
It's like speed in a pint glass. It's monster. Not that I'm condoning the use of narcotics on this show. I'm just saying, you know.
I tell you, when you're reading our WhatsApp group, you wouldn't be heard that to get out.
For tea, said 70, you know.
It's a position, as he said, third in the table now on 13 points, but there's like 12 teams the same. It says on nearly the same amount of points, so you can't slip up. You know, every game now is like, and it's good to, like, it keeps teams interested till the end now. You know, it's no more of this. After match day 4, you could be through, you know, and fielding second string teams. Every game now, you can see teams just going for the game now. You know, they don't sit back. You know, it's great. Yeah. It's great.
To be honest with you, Jonathan, the way the title is and the way the fixtures are, I think if we win the next home game,
it's enough.
Pretty much okay.
Yeah.
It's vital to be in that top 8. Though.
Do you not think 4 points? Yeah. You think one more victory? I
think one more victory. I think you'll see that gap between the 13 and 12 points team separating, you know.
Yeah, when you see the likes of PSG, they're in the elimination part of the group, you know.
And they're gone. I think they're out.
Oh, they're gone, are they?
I don't think they can get. I'm pretty sure. I heard that on TalkSport last night. But
that's incredible.
I think they're. I don't know. Yeah.
It's great. I think the revamp. Everyone was kind of dreading it, but actually it's worked out. It's the league that it should have always been, you know.
I dare not contemplate what the Paris Saint-Germain River Bar Supporters Club Thread podcast is like today.
They're out of the top 8. They can't get in the top 8 anyway.
They can't get into the top 8 now.
No. Yeah, well, that's at least that's one worry off our mind.
Crap anyway, you know.
Yeah, there's even a chance of Real Madrid, if they don't pick up anything in their last 2 as well, they could actually not make it as well. So, yeah, it's all to go win for that. Yeah, I have a good feeling we'll go on to win it though. And we leave it at that.
Okay.
So I think we're happy enough with our man of the matches on that one. Just briefly, is there anything else, lads, you'd like to mention about our supporters club or anything, Arsenal in particular, or anything?
No. Like as I said on the last show, we're doing our best with tickets. We can't we can't promise people things for Christmas and get them out on time and all, but we always get there. So everybody just
believe in the process.
Believe in the process. I won't be in the club myself until the Palace away game. So I hope everybody who's there on Saturday has a good day, you know.
Yeah, Everton at 3:00, yeah. And that's, of course, going to be our next review show Monday.
Yeah.
I'll go well. We can get a victory against Richie White's Everton.
Today's Brad. Today.
He had an absolute banger on our preview show. Absolutely. I haven't stopped laughing. And that's going to be out. That's going to be out tomorrow. I guarantee the views be through the roof when we see this. I'd like to thank our UK-based owner, Carl Ozzy Osborne. Thanks for coming on, pal. Great to have you back and great to see you well. And also to Eamonn Donnelly. His dedication knows no bounds. Fresh face. Are you listening, Richie White? This is the way it's done. You can catch our show on the Dublin Arsenal YouTube channel and also on Spotify. So until then, have a great week, lads, and enjoy the game on Saturday against Everton.
Come on, you guys.